Hey guys, welcome to week 3 of Wannabe Game Developer, although I still haven't quite decided what I'm going to name this thing. What you see over here was actually I consider it a gift from my partner. She took it upon herself to design a little logo, which I actually really love. To me, with a big hunk of meat, a controller, and my 2 kitties. So quite happy with that. I think I will change the Cos dog to whatever we decide to call this. And she was also very kind enough to help me get this chair for my birthday. You would have seen me build it before I started talking to you. Today I'm just going to pick up where we left off last week. So I had worked out some basic mechanics and I started building a world. I would like to work out how to add in some other mechanics like some healing. I think the game does need that, even if we put it in quite sparingly. I don't want you to run around with just one life and then, I don't know if you'll lose your progression, but exactly how it will work, but just to respawn, and have nothing for it, all the creatures will respawn and you'll have to start essentially from scratch if you make a mistake, which is not really what I want. So I'm going to I want to try and finish up this first area because I feel like I'm quite close. Maybe put in some more spawns. Maybe I'll make a few duplicates of the weapons, although I kind of like having the weapons scarce and spread out. Then I'm going to most likely look at some YouTube videos or try and work it out by myself first, but some kind of healing mechanic or some kind of checkpoint system. I haven't really decided which one I want to go for, but we'll see how we go. Okay, coming back in. I think I do want to sort out this background, make it look like a city skyline, even if it's quite close behind the walls here. I think it's something that's needed. I'll just use this little bit of earth on the off chance that you are in a raised position, just to get something. What was this one called? Damage building. So Let's have a quick look. Chocolate colored windowsills on all sides, with the walls also being different, just to add a little bit of visual diversity. See, in fact, the solution is to bring it forward. Yeah. Hey, so just had a bit of a short break. Decided today that I'm going to try and implement at least one new mechanic a week, as well as building up the world in which the game sort of happens. I spent a lot of time actually putting in assets into this world using the community created assets, and there's some really good stuff. I've got a tavern, I've got some ruins, some clusters of sort of forest design, which actually helped me tremendously. It was taking really long and it was looking very similar, so I did it just to save myself a little bit of time so I could focus more on just creating some more gameplay mechanics based stuff. So for the rest of the day, I'm gonna probably now watch some more of tutorials. Hopefully get in some kind of a healing mechanic. I think it would be better if there's only like the one place to heal. I either want to implement that, or I found a really cool asset that's really reminiscent of World of Warcraft or Warcraft in general, a dark portal, and maybe use that to as like a level 2, send our guys to the next level, and from there we can make it a bit more mystical, and kind of step away from the pre-made AI kit that I used. But yeah, let's see where we have luck, where we can add a new mechanic. So I'll probably just cut here for now because I'm going to watch some YouTube tutorials, but afterwards I'll start again.
A few moments later.
So after watching Standard Combos full video series, it was incredibly useful, and part of that was actually using the template in order to create different sort of spawn camps, and learning about triggers and learning how to actually change the NPCs so that you can add elements onto them and it will behave as if it's actually part of the mesh, as well as kind of getting into greater detail and how to changing like the materials of the NPCs a little bit better. So I think what I'll do today is I'm going to make templates for myself of different spawn camps with different sort of designs around the little spawn camps, instead of just having the 3 bushes and the 3 little spawn camps. And part of that is also using other 3D meshes that is part of core, that's not part of the NPC kit. So I'm going to create some new NPCs and enemies to fight, and I'm going to fix the collision on them as well, and I'll create different difficulties. So I'm probably going to get rid of almost all the NPCs except for the pair of raptors fighting each other in the beginning, because I kind of like that. It's a good way, a visual cue to see things. And also a part of that, I'll probably have to go back to review it again, is instead of having to pick up a gun, I want to actually have the gun equipped. So instead of adding new mechanics, I'm going to refine what's in the kit and show you what can be done. And I definitely suggest watching that playlist. I'll add that playlist again this week. Incredibly useful. I think for this week at least, I'm going to clean up the NPCs, the enemies in my current build of the game, and sort of just refine them and make them more spawn when you are in a trigger area, as opposed to just kind of taking up the resources as you start the game. It will be a better use of the game's sort of resources and stuff. They'll only trigger when you, and surprise you when you're in a certain trigger area. So let's get into it. Okay, so we're gonna have to go through this. I must actually arrange all of this. So using some community downloads, I've kind of made it a bit more atmospheric. It's a bit more of a foreboding and threatening environment. I need to go through and sort of remove all of these guys. I'm still keen to have some raptors fighting each other at different points, but I think for now I'm going to go through and just delete all this stuff for now, because it's not actually using my resources in a meaningful way. This is probably an extremely inefficient way to make backgrounds, but frankly I thought it looked cool, so I'll probably work out a more efficient way to do this. I'm going to remove all of those that I've added. Let's up the brightness just a little bit. It's very dark. Let's have a look, see. Yeah, that light's a little bit better. Okay. Let's give that a little test real quick. So there should just be the two raptors. Okay, that's good. Okay, well it seems that standard combo's already adjusted the collider, so I don't need to stress too much about that, which is good. Actually, I want to get rid of the decorations, because I don't want it. I want it to be a surprise. I don't want the player to know. Make it seem like they spawn from behind the ferns. Let's see how this looks. I think shift equals. Haha. Okay. Awesome. So whenever the raptors sort of appear, I want them to make it look as if they're popping out of some bushes or a tree or something. Let's see how this behaves. Maybe we can spawn two enemy camps fighting each other. Oh, run away. Or they fight each other. Okay, not quite what I wanted. Earlier in this video I said that I was going to add at least one new mechanic a week, and I managed to achieve that. I added in a small healing area, which I'm going to move, but basically what happens is that once you stand over that area, it periodically heals you. I'm going to change it to make it a bit more balanced. I added a pistol as the starting weapon, so you don't have to pick it up anymore. And I was able to work within the NPC AI kit so that I was able to utilize the enemy spawn camps and create different templates that I'm going to add into the world and different enemy types. So I made a different dragon. At some point I made a different raptor. I didn't quite know what I was doing. I fine-tuned it a little bit better. So by doing this, I've kind of haven't used as much server resources, so it's running a bit lighter. I also changed the sky in the background using some community built add-ons in the core creator. So even though not much has changed in the world itself, although it is a bit more foresty, I saw there's a paintbrush option with the materials that I want to work out how to use by this time next week. And I think my challenge for next week will be implementing the portal to create a new instance. This one can be an outdoor area. The next one will be interior. That in itself will create some new challenges. I just want to fine tune this outside area. I added another boundary wall. I added some more background design. Saying all of this now, I actually made a bit more progress than I felt like I have. I only had the one day to work. Just a note, I am going to be busy with work next week, so I might have to make a much shorter video, but I will make an effort to commit to making at least my one video a week. So that's where we're at. Let's have a quick test. So you'll notice when we spawn, I've already got the handgun. I've doubled up on my warring faction of raptors, just to create that sense of chaoticness. You'll notice it's a lot more populated. I've added in a few elements here and there. I know where all the guns are, so it will be a little bit easier for me. I think this is somewhere around here is the first spawn camp I created by myself. Just some easy dragons to kill, relatively straightforward and basic. And I'll quickly go heal just to show you that I implemented that as well. Oh, okay. The red raptors won the day. Here's my green. I do want them to trigger a little bit earlier. The idea is with the raptors is that I want them to surprise you as make it appear like they ambushing you. You see. Obviously triggered it. See, already I need to heal. I'm thinking in the structures, it will be a safe zone, at least in this area. So there, I healed. You'll notice that big bad dragon over there. He's the boss dragon. I'll save him for the end. Just to keep the game a bit more challenging, they're going to periodically respawn. I think I might have to be sneaky and make my way around. Ooh, okay, yeah, you see, I need to fix some stuff. At some point I ended up rotating my whole map. A little bit frustrating. So yeah, some skellies, non-skeletons, and then obviously we've created a bit of a castle ruin. Using the paintbrush, I want to actually put stone under this. It looks, or snow or some kind of other environment. It looks a little bit odd. So the only thing I really need to show you guys, I mean, before I call it a night, I'll remove that stuff. I'm gonna forget. It's a bit more populated, and the nice thing with this these templates is that they've added in some sound effects. Yeah, you see? Green raptor camp. I suppose we'll go take on the boss now. You'll notice it's night time, and there's a city skyline in the background. I might, if I'm able to find out where this texture comes from, I think I must maybe remove the buildings. I also feel like I made the moonlight a little bit too blue. You have control over that. I think we saw this one already. Let's go get one shot by the boss. Creating the spawn caps also allows the enemies to respawn after a certain amount of time, so it's probably a better way to go with bosses, at least for now. Yeah, you see, I've got to fix this as well. It's a bit odd. You see, here he is. Let's aggro the boss. I just got to work out how to keep him that size in the spawn camps, because when I made a spawn camp of him, it was very, very small. Thanks for joining us this week. Got a little bit of visual homework to do, getting some of the stuff that's floating that I missed after I rotated my design of my level. But made some fairly good progress this week. Hopefully by next week I'll be able to animate the logo, as well as add a new mechanic and polish off this first level. I'm hoping that I'll be able to transport us to like an underground second level using that big green portal where that dragon boss is. Maybe I can work out how to add other AR behaviors to meshes that haven't been used already. Yeah, but that's it. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon.